this video 2, count 'em, 2 brushes. I thought we could do my monthly story time, and we're gonna do it in whisper for relaxation, of course, and some camera brushing. I hope you guys enjoy this story, and it's not really a story that's finished, to be honest, so once it's finished, or if it ever finishes, I'll let you guys know the ending, but I guess I'll just tell you so far how it's going. And I'll give you the back history of it as well, because why not? Everybody loves a good romance, right? That's not really what this is. But stay tuned. Okay. So, where do I begin? So, if you're new to the channel, I have a few story times up, as well as a get to know me and why I chose to do ASMR. And I'm Bianca, in case you didn't know. I do just about anything feels good on this channel, so we're gonna try it all. And a couple months ago I decided that every month we would do a monthly story time as a better way to get to know me. And I like relating to channels and just getting to know. You kind of feel like you're friends when you watch story times, and that's how I feel like it should be. And so this is you guys' way of getting to know me a little better, to see that I'm no different from anyone else, and I just might be more relatable to a lot of people who are also going through similar experiences or have gone through similar experiences. And so, if you couldn't tell by the title already, this story time is going to be my love story. That is not a traditional love story, and it has not quite ended yet, but I'll tell you guys about it anyway. So, when I was 20 years old, I had just not like just, I did not finish high school. I dropped out and got a GED. I graduated still, actually earlier than my actual class, and I'm very proud of that, and I actually graduated top of my program, so not to toot my own horn. I also had perfect attendance, but I was not in a good place. I was, a very angry young adult. I knew that I did not like how my life was going, and I knew I had to change it somehow, but didn't know how. I was not in a good place with my family. Although I lived with them, I didn't feel like I belonged. I had gotten out of was even more lost and stuck once it was over. I did, as I said before, go back to school for my GED, and after I was done, I felt like I could do anything, but I went right back to feeling lost. Around this time, it was the peak of my mental depression, and trying to figure out where I was supposed to be was only making it worse. I wasn't really dating, but I was doing a lot of things that weren't really my character, and I knew that I was capable of doing more. I just didn't try. Well, I started to talk to people online. Not like in a weird or creepy way. Like, I used to hang out on this site a lot when I was younger, and I stopped when I got a little older. And around this time, I discovered the site again, and so I logged onto my account, and I would just go on there to pretty much lurk in chat rooms so that I didn't feel lonely. But it wasn't really as fulfilling as I thought it would be. So I was actually going to quit. And then I got a message from this person who said hi. Mind you, any girl is going to relate right now to this statement that when you have guys jumping your inbox all the time because they see your profile picture and they think, oh, she's hot, she's pretty, I'm going to try to talk to her. And most of the time online, they're creeps. They ask for things that are disgusting. And so you don't really know what to believe. But I ignored this person. And the next day when I got back on, they sent me another message again around the same time saying hi. And I decided to answer it. I said hi back, and we pretty much just started talking from there. They asked me, we talked about ice cream. That was our first conversation, and it was strange, but refreshing, because I thought they were going to ask me for weird stuff or pictures of my feet. You get it. But he didn't. We ended up talking every day around the same time. And eventually, I gave them my phone number and we would text all the time. As well as, after a while of texting, it was pretty much like we knew each other. And the weird part is that they lived like up the street from me. Like, isn't that fate? Like, doesn't that seem like fate? Neither of us knew just how close we lived to each other because we didn't share that type of information. We were just talking to comfort one another. They told me stuff that they were going through. I told them about stuff I was going through. And we became super close. So one day, after countless time frames of asking when we would meet, I finally decided that I would meet them, but I place full of people because you could still be a psycho. And so we met up the street by a bar around the time that the bar is super packed. Just so there was also stores there, everything. So there was no way you're gonna snatch me, okay? Like, I also had a taser. Just saying. But, so, I got dressed and I told them to meet me up the street. And I told them that they would see me, they would know me when they saw me. And so I just walked around the corner to meet them, and they were standing there. And I was waiting to cross the street, and we just saw each other. And I think that they were shocked that I actually look like my pictures. Which I do. No catfish here. But once we got up close, I realized that I didn't have anything to be concerned about because they were more shy or nervous than I was. Like I said, it's weird. I actually felt like I already knew them because we had talked for a while. And so, once I realized that he was more afraid than I was, it made me feel a little better. And he was very much harmless. It was as if we knew each other once we met too. It wasn't weird at all, which only made it seem like more fate. We did go and hang out for a little bit after that, and then he took me home. I didn't feel like he was a creep or anything, and we hung out and we talked more, and from there we hung out every day when he got off work. We would just hang out and watch TV and talk and get to know each other, and eventually he asked me on a date. He would ask all the time, and I would say no because I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was trying to be one with myself. I always was in relationships instead of just taking time for myself, and so I finally decided that I was just going to take some time to get to know myself. And so that's what I was doing. But eventually he asked me on a date, and I said yes. And from there, we became even more inseparable than we already were. We eventually, not long after our date, became an official couple. And he moved in with me and my family because he had his own situation that wasn't good. And if you haven't already figured it out, I'm the type of person who is a fixer. I'm always trying to fix people's situations so that I don't have to face my own. That situation did not go great. We were quote unquote, I guess you can say, perfect for the first couple months. We didn't argue. We would disagree. We would agree to disagree, but we didn't want to argue. We didn't want to be mean to one another. And it was the first relationship I think I've been in where we didn't have that mentality of, I wasn't in a situation where we would just be ugly to one another, which only made me feel like it was more where I was supposed to be. Shortly after that, I got pregnant. It wasn't very long after relationship, and I unfortunately had a miscarriage. And our relationship started to take a little bit of a down spiral because my family was also not great. Our living situation wasn't great. I did not get pregnant on purpose. And my relationship with my mother was not great at the time. So, I had a miscarriage. And I don't think that he really knew how to be there for me, and I didn't really know how to be there for him, and I didn't know how to feel or deal with what I was feeling. And so I started to shut everything out and everyone. It was bad. Eventually, we moved into a different place with my family, and it only got worse from there. It got so much more worse that we did eventually get our own place, and it was a crappy apartment. Really crappy, but it was ours, and unfortunately I invited my sister to come along because she was also being, in my opinion, mistreated in the situation of our previous living. And so I brought my sister along, and I told, if you're new, I let everyone know that I will do a story time on the situation with my sister. I'm just not at a good place yet where I can without it being a very sad story time. So, let's just say it didn't go well. It wasn't a good decision. And my sister made my relationship that was already fragile even worse. It wasn't her fault. It was my fault because I invited her to live with us. And so, a foundation that was already shaky began to crumble. My sister moved out almost a year later. That wasn't the plan. But that's what happened. And I think it caused a wedge between me and her as well. And eventually, I felt like I was caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to my relationship and my sister. And it's not because the person I was with was making me feel that way or on purpose. He wasn't making me feel that way on purpose. It's just I wanted to fix my relationship. But I wanted to fix my relationship with both him and my sister. And I felt like I was being pulled like a tug-of-war rope. And so that caused even more of a wedge. After my sister moved out, I tried to fix things between us, but it's as if no matter what I did, it got worse. Whenever it would feel like it was good sometimes, and then other times it wouldn't. Unfortunately, that was sad to watch, given I felt like it was fate when we met. I know it was sad on his end as well, but at some point when it was good, I got pregnant again. And that resulted in my daughter May, whom, if you are an OG of the channel, you know me. And she's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. Unfortunately, while I was pregnant, it was good and bad all at the same time. I was lucky because I had someone there with me my whole pregnancy. that would take a whole nother story time to explain. Either way, the story isn't really over. It's still going on, and unfortunately you never really realize how much things can change and how big a part outside people play in your relationship until you let them in. I made the mistake of letting too many people into my relationship and letting too many outside elements play a part. It was a lesson I had to learn, and I'm still learning it. But ultimately, I don't regret meeting this person, as they gave me my daughter, and we have tons of great memories together. If you guys have not already guessed already, it is Patrick, who has been featured on the channel with the hair videos and the back videos. He is great. I will always care for him as a person. We will always be close. Our situation is very much complicated, but the one thing that isn't complicated is we both love our kid, and I think we both have love for each other because we've been through so much. We've literally been together. In September, it'll be 8 years. So you can't just not love someone after that. Our story's still going on, and so I will update you guys as it goes, because why not? Live through my trauma. I wanted to share it because although it may not sound like it, I love what Patrick has done for me as a person, and he is actually subscribed to the channel, and he watches my videos, and he's been so supportive of my channel, and so I'm going to tell him directly. Thank you, Patrick, for everything you've done for me. You were there for me when I didn't have anyone else. You loved me and you supported me when nobody else did. You believed in me when nobody else did. And I'm sorry that I let so many things get in the way of what we had. And I will always have love in my heart for you. And I will always be so appreciative of what you've done for me and what you continue to do for me. And I always want you to be happy. Even if it does not seem like it, I always want the best for you, the very best. And no matter where I go in life, that you're good. So, thank you. And I love and appreciate you so deeply. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you understand that a lot of relationships aren't black and white. Mine isn't, and I know there are tons of people who also share the same story. Not the same, but you get it. I love you guys, and thank you for all the support on the channel, and thank you for supporting the story times. It always makes me feel closer to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry about the dogs. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in my next video.